All right, welcome back, everyone. This is session 4.5, not 4, not 5, but 4.5 of how to CAD almost anything here on Siemens NX. And as you'll see, today we're not even using slides, and this is because it's again session 4.5 is an unofficial session where I wanted to, at least at some point, CAD a Coke product and something else. But the excuse was to CAD a can of Coke, which is one of the projects that I've been CADing all throughout the different times that I've taught this course. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. Yeah, actually, you can see here that I just finished cutting the tennis paddle racket, so I'm just continuing cutting a lot more stuff. And the purpose of this session really is again to continue with this process of just looking at pictures and trying to make a CAD model that is resemblant as similar as possible. Even though I'm struggling now a little bit more than probably hopefully you guys will, because I'm figuring out some tricks specific to Siemens NX given the commands that we have available. But this one I actually think shouldn't take us so much time. So we're gonna start today actually by cutting this 222 milliliters. I've cut it a regular, I think it was like 333 or something like that. It's like just a bigger type of can. So we're gonna start with this just by using this picture, this one, and this one. So actually, a quick overview of how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna bring this into an X. I'm gonna cut half of this. I'll make just a revolve of this thing. Then I'll probably I'll make with a picture. I will trace this picture around. I will project it into the surface of the can. We'll see how that looks. I'm going to show you two ways in which you can do that. And then maybe I'll write the no calories, no sugar, no calories label. We can do that too. I mean, this one looks mostly flat, so I might be able to write this maybe from scratch. Maybe I'll just use some text to make it easier. But this will probably take some time to draw the CAD. And then we'll finish by drawing the upper part, which hopefully it's not going to be too difficult to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Actually, just looking at the top part, I'm just saying that this is going to be just pretty thin. Anyway, we'll start. All right, so we're here in X. So here, new model. I'm going to call this Diet Coke. I'll say okay. We're gonna go straight to tools, raster image. It's basically plain. This time actually we're gonna look at this one, and then I'll bring precisely this picture, and that looks fine. So first things, let's go here to home, sketch, and let's start. There we go. Okay. So let's just start by drawing the outline of the can. So nothing too difficult. So that looks roughly like half of a can right there. I'll draw a line that goes from here. Just bear in mind that this is not a completely, there's some curvature to this. There's a, there we go. There's gonna be a little bit of a, it's not gonna be perfect because this picture is not completely flat. It's not a completely flat, I guess, reflection of what the can should be looking like. So I'm just gonna use a couple of splines right here. And say yes. Then another spline. It's gonna go just like that. And say yes. And then a big line. It's gonna go all the way up here. And then with a few splines, I'm just gonna you see it all the way up there. Just move this point just like that. And then I can actually smoothen it out with some edge blends afterwards. And just a tiny bit. Okay. You can already start to tell just there was a little bit of curvature downwards, which means actually that I might make the can smaller this direction. In fact, let me just bring this down all the way like that. Okay. And I'm not gonna worry too much about over defining stuff. I'll leave this like this. I think that looks close. I'll go here to finish. Then right over to revolve. Specify vector over here. I'll say okay. Look, see, it doesn't take too much effort to make it look nice. The edge blend, make it two. Same thing with these ones right there. Maybe one thing I could have done in the bottom, now that I'm realizing it, is that I'm gonna go back here to our sketch. And I'll make this actually a construction line just for a moment. Because normally the cans have like a little bit of a curvature in the bottom. So I can just the line right there. And then with your friend the spline, I'm just gonna just like that. I'm gonna say okay. Just a very tiny, it's a little bit curved. It's not exactly flat. So now yes, I go here with the line and go all the way to the very top. And just like that. Just want to make sure that that looks approximately fine. And I can go back to finish. No, very good. So hopefully that should have worked. I can hide this. And now I don't even need the picture anymore. Like the picture was just, because you will add and delete pictures as we go. And I'll say, okay, very good. Now we have that done. And then I can go here to edge blend. Obviously give it some curvature to that as well. So it's gonna be our version of the Coke can, obviously. It's not gonna be identical. But we can already start assigning feature colors. And I'll make all of this stuff maybe light gray. So I'll choose for the features. There's all the different ones that we have. Say, okay, good. I mean, that looks quite nice with the reflection. I like it. Now we're gonna create, let's start adding labels. Let's go straight to the Coke design. So I'll go here to the tomb plane. And I go here to invert. I'll choose this plane. I'll say that I want it 30, actually more. Say 100 actually. Okay, good. So now we can go over to our friend tools, raster image, and we are gonna bring specify plane, this one, we're gonna bring now the label. So we're gonna rotate this by 180. And the reality is that it doesn't matter whether the label is in the middle or right, because eventually it's just gonna be wrapped around the surface of this can. Although, yes, I think that's gonna be fine. Okay. So I'm just gonna say, okay, right there. Actually, this may be a little bit too big. So I might make the height of this. That was maybe 40. No. Yes, I think that looks a little bit more appropriate. Yeah. And see the picture of the can, how high is it? Yes, it's mostly before the transition to the curvature. So maybe just like right there. Say, okay, good. So all we have to start doing now is using, you go to home, sketch, right here. Okay. So start tracing now. I'll speed it up from now onwards. The word Coke using the spline tool. Uh, uh, all right, welcome back, everyone. This is session 4.5, not 4, not 5, but 4.5 of how to cut almost anything here on Siemens NX. And as you'll see, today we're not even using slides, and this is because it's again session 4.5 is an unofficial session where I wanted to, at least at some point, cut a Coke product and something else. But the excuse was to cut a can of Coke, which is one of the projects that I've been cutting all throughout the different times that I've taught this course. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. Yeah, actually, you can see here that I just finished cutting the tennis paddle racket, so I'm just continuing cutting a lot more stuff. And the purpose of this session really is again to continue with this process of just looking at pictures and trying to make a CAD model that is resemblant as similar as possible. Even though I'm struggling now a little bit more than probably hopefully you guys will, because I'm figuring out some tricks specific to Siemens NX given the commands that we have available. But this one I actually think shouldn't take us so much time. So we're gonna start today actually by cutting this 222 milliliters. I've cut it a regular, I think it was like 333 or something like that. It's like just a bigger type of can. So we're gonna start with this just by using this picture, this one, and this one. So I just a quick overview of how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna bring this into an X. I'm gonna cut half of this. I'll make just a revolve of this thing. Then I'll probably I'll make with a picture. I will trace this picture around. I will project it into the surface of the can. We'll see how that looks. I'm going to show you two ways in which you can do that. And then maybe I'll write the no calories, no sugar, no calories label. We can do that too. I mean, this one looks mostly flat, so I might be able to write this maybe from scratch. Maybe I'll just use some text to make it easier. But this will probably take some time to draw the CAD. And then we'll finish by drawing the upper part, which hopefully it's not going to be too difficult to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Actually, just looking at the top part, I'm just saying that this is going to be just pretty thin. Okay, we'll start. All right, so we're here in next. Okay, so there we go with the Coke label. And now I'm just gonna get rid of that picture. Well, we don't need it anymore. We're just gonna leave this like this. There's different approaches that we can try in here. So what I wonder whether it's 180. No, then 360. Okay, I think here it might actually work. So this one I'll actually hide it. I guess you need the plane to be touching exactly your can. So let's go back into wrap. The curve here, select face, this, take plane, that. Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. So this is a lot better. Maybe target is a little bit too high there. I mean, that's fine. Um, I'm just thinking whether I could bring this down by a little bit. In this sketch, bring it down, very tiny down. There we go. It just modifies immediately, so that's very good. And I can hide this, I can hide this. The approach in here is to go home, go to sketch. I'm gonna select this face, and I'm going to project curve, and I'm gonna project that circle. And you'll see why all of this will make sense in just a moment. So I'm gonna close this here, and now I'm gonna hide this. Meanwhile, I'm going to extrude again this circle in here. I'm just hiding the can for a moment, but I'll make this direction is fine. say none. There should be somewhere in here where it tells us that we can make this a sheet. No, none. Oh, okay, the surface. Oh, there we go. Right here. Instead of solid, just say sheet. That's essentially it. I'll say, okay, good. Now that we've gotten to this point, we can actually just let's make sure that yes, none. We go here to resist trim sheet. So we're gonna select this sheet and as the object, the Coke word. I say okay. So now that's what actually let me just go here, edit. Wanna discard. There we go. So that's what we have left. Actually, I'll probably wanna do the little interior circle too. So I'm gonna go here to the trim sheet again. Where it is. Select that. I select object. Let's see if I can infer curve, single curve. It's gonna be that one. I'll say keep. Very good. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing right here. So trim. And very convoluted. This is not definitely not something that I was expecting. Single curve, that. Okay. Now we have like the Coke label just floating in space, and we'll need to repeat this process again in just a moment when we do the text. But that for that we still have time. Uh, Actually, maybe we should have done it before, but it's okay. We can repeat the process just as additional practice. So dream sheet here. Select object, single curve. Okay, good. So now that we've gotten to this point, oh yes, I can show again the revolve. So that's what we have. We're left with all of this. Again, actually, maybe I don't want to show anything. Go here to thicken. I'll select all of these guys, but I will actually thicken in the reverse direction, inwards, and only by 0.1. And you will see the purpose of all of this in just a second, because now I can show this stuff again. I go here to home, I go then to subtract, and I'll select here, and target body is this thicken. So that is how you create in a very convoluted way the Coke label in here. And I guess it's good to know. So let's give it another shot. Let's practice by adding the other part of the label, which is the no sugar, no calories. That might actually be a little bit simpler. We'll see. Because I believe if I can just go here, text. Later on curve. Let's go back to text. On page. Maybe I should have selected this one. To on face, select face, single face, this one, select curve, this. Now, oh, I just wanna move around on your location. Oh, here, let's do it again. Actually, maybe what might be more convenient here is if we do a little circle up here. So maybe I'm gonna project this circle like around here. That will be a little bit more beneficial. So go here to sketch. I'm going to plane. Then we're gonna bring maybe 50, 20. There we go. Okay. Let's do a sketch that circle. Very good. And we're gonna project this other one. Let's say finish. Okay, this is just again as reference. I don't think I'll need the plane anymore. Maybe yes. Now yes, we go back to text. Text. And then we'll go here to face. Single face, this one, curve, that one. The point is currently here, so I can just move this around. Oh, sorry. 12, 15. No. And now we need to flip the orientation. Uh, oh, I could have that directly. So that I could have controlled the offset. Okay. So now we're gonna write in here no or no sugar. That this has to be a lot smaller. So let's see. Oh, just remember that. Let's go back here to text. On face. Oh, I could have used, as I was saying earlier, the other circle. Text frame. Yeah, that looks fine. Settings, bitmark settings, character spacing. Okay. Let's say ruler. So parameter. I just want to make this smaller. Let's see. So the dimensions. There we go. All right. So length. So height. 5. Maybe I should have done. Let's try one more. There we go. Now that is a little bit better. Yeah, and the font type is about the same, I would say. Now, sugar, maybe I would bring up just a little bit more. And I'll say I'll have to remember dimensions. Okay, good. And now we're gonna do the exam. Again, we're implementing the same approaches that we had before. So back here to text, so on face, it remembers that. Very good. Single curve here. Reverse this, reverse that. Okay. See, work. So here, I'm just gonna bring it down and write no calories. It down just like that. Okay, good. So now what we can do is we can extrude this. Potentially, I think we could extrude it. Actually, we're gonna use the same approach as before. So I'm gonna hide this. Actually, I can also hide the. Very good. Okay. So we're gonna extrude again this curve. Actually, it doesn't need to be a ton. It could be up there. And here in settings, just make it a sheet. Let's click OK. And now let's go to trim sheet. So actually, let me just make sure when I edit this, there was none. Okay, good. Go here to trim sheet here, and the object, I believe we can select each one of these lettering. So very good. Excellent. Just like this. I'll say discard. So let's see what happens. Okay, so now I need to get rid of the interior. Here, so sheet. As I keep, oh, true. Yeah, so this is where you need a lot of patience. Very good. Here. Okay, almost there. Now we go over to again, and we'll employ again all of these different faces, and I think um, so I reverse the direction for all of them. Good. Just like that. Okay. So now we can show again the Coke can, sugar, or calories. We can go over to subtract, select body here, and tool is this again. And body, and then we can we can hide that. And we should be able to, there we go, just like that. No, sure, no colors. Good. Now we got it. And in fact, if we do move, actually, that plane wasn't particularly useless because if we do move that plane, then the no sure no calories also will move. And I kind of like this look of grayish. Well, no, but now I can go here to assign feature color and make this the Coke red, which I believe might be this. Actually, not that. Maybe that one. This is the same thing here. Okay. So we're done with part one, which was designing the can. Now the label. So the next part, or at least something that tends to be like the label. So the next step in here would be to make the top part. But we're getting there, almost done. So now let's get rid of this picture and let's get rid of this one. So the point about the label is the part of the top part is not very difficult. We're gonna bring this and we're gonna trace it. Ideally, it won't be too difficult. Maybe the first thing that I would do here, go to sketch the top faces. My interpretation of the can is that actually I could just do an offset inwards of -1. Take that, the little aluminium part, the top, you can see it this way. Like I'm gonna extrude downwards by maybe -5 or so. Yeah, something along -4. And I should probably say here in edit parameters is that I want to subtract the body here. There we go. I'll hide. But now there's like that little chamfer area. We're gonna go here to sketch, sketch, okay. Over here to circle. Actually, we could have just offsetted that circle. And see by one, no, negative, this is -1. As we originally had it. Technically the surface is a little curved, but we're gonna cheat in here and we're gonna make it flat. Uh, just because I think it's gonna be much easier to do it that way. Gonna extrude upwards just by 3. Say okay. And now we can do very subtle chamfers in there, maybe 1, 2. I might extend this chamfer over there as well. Might make these a little more pronounced. Maybe. It looks a little more professional this way. And then in here we can chamfer this by 1. Very good. I think it's looking a little more decent. And maybe we should probably color all of these things. I think the light gray that we originally used. Color. Okay. That's exactly what I meant with the color. Okay. Good. So now let's add the particular part, the top part of the can. So we got it right there. Let's bring this in. So let's go here, tools, raster image, specify plane here, and then choose image, the top. Okay, so we're gonna try to scale this as much as we can to the actual size of the can. That way, first maybe let's orient this like that, by which roughly direction of the can. And then what would be a good way of knowing it's or what it doesn't need to be per. So I know that that is the middle. So I'll assign this roughly in there. Otherwise, I can always move the sketch and say, okay, we could just leave it like this, right? And say, all right, this is the can, but we're not gonna do that. So let's start by tracing pretty much every single line that we see in here. We're gonna do home sketch. Yeah, we're gonna choose this face, and we are gonna do only half of all of this, just like that. So excellent. Maybe these guys make them construction for now. Let's start with the spline tracing the exterior. Okay, yeah, roughly okay. Yes, I'll probably wanna do these lines too. We're gonna try to make them, but I'll start them here. Like that. And actually, I have a very good way where we will be able to do that. We're gonna use the swept. We don't need to overcomplicate our lives, but we always can. Okay, good. Yeah, we could also model particular. Maybe I'll just leave it like this and let's model also here. The spline. Okay, the spline. Okay, so time to start mirroring all of this stuff. You'll see it's not exactly the middle, uh, but at least the picture didn't play exactly in the middle, but it will be symmetrical, which is what matters. So here to mirror, I select curve, all of these. Go center line here and say okay. Very good. So we have this, and this is gonna be our master sketch for now, right? So we're gonna say finish. Now we're gonna start a new sketch. Gonna be right here. And in fact, I can actually get rid of the picture, which is the one. So it doesn't confuse us as much. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, let me see, let's see if I can offset all of this stuff inwards by -2. Yeah, is it okay? And now we are gonna extrude downwards, subtract -1 to the body here. Okay, and now we can actually chamfer these edges by say 0.5. Does this work? And then transition chamfer size. Actually, let's see maybe we did edge blend. Okay, that does work a lot better. And one. Regional. That was proper with the jam. Actually, I think this looks quite good. Oh, I'm able to apply net. Let's see it. Okay. But that was the original case. Now let's actually go here to sketch. Right on that face. And I'm gonna project just one of these curves. Project curve, that one, okay, finish. And what we can do is now create a plane that's gonna be right there. Okay, because what I can do is a little sketch in that plane. And make a little circle. It's gonna be 0.2 size. this circle. I should probably need okay. Now that circle is indeed what we want this to be. Very good. Now I can make the size that I want. Now, before we do that, let's repeat the same procedure down here. Go to sketch. And now I'm gonna project the other line. We're almost out. We're getting there. It's a little bit tedious, but I think we're almost there. And let's go here. Project curve. That one. Finish. Get set. Very good. Sketch there. We're gonna project. No, the point to it. Okay, finish. So now go here, and what we'll do is a swept. But already knows that get curve. This guy over there. Mm, This is this is. I know I selected two. Oh, I see. Let me go back. Do it again. Swept. Oh, the curve. And back to no. Do this sketch. No. There we go. Edit. Need to make that line construction as well. Very good. Finish. Work. Now, I don't know. Let's see. Specify curve. Do edit. Now, yes. Why wouldn't it work this time? Oh, well, so we only need to do one of these curves, not both of them, because the problem is, oh, a little bit could have done a little bit better. They're not exactly tangent, these two curves, and that's why I was complaining. That's okay. We'll just leave this like this and say, okay, but we can always do a mirror. That's completely fine. But we'll here again, swept. We'll choose this guy and here, single curve. Let's say, okay, maybe time to hide all of these guys. Also those planes. Oh, we go. Maybe it's time to project this stuff as well here. So I'll go ahead and do that too. Okay, there we go. This is the I guess Diet Coke can, 222 milliliters. As usual, it did take a little bit more time than I thought, but I'm pretty satisfied with the results. It looks mostly fine. I couldn't get rid of two little details in there. I did my best to eliminate them, but I guess I'm content with now because I want to move on into another program. But I guess this is mostly fine. That shouldn't have been a problem had the two lines been tangent to each other. But here it is, and I'll put it online so that you can use it afterwards. Perfect. Very much for watching, and let's continue to the next project in just a second. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Now, for the second half of this video, we're gonna try something perhaps a little bit ambitious. We'll see. I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm gonna design an MIT tech dinghy. What is a tech dinghy? It's this in particular is the name that is given to a boat. At least we'll do a simplified version, right? Here, the point is to practice more how to design the hull in particular, more than anything else. And I'm looking, I found a couple of pictures, so I'm gonna base it mostly on this. Again, it's not gonna be exactly like the same, and then eventually I'll need to find the logo in here to put in the sail. But we'll give it a shot. Yes, I'll use these pictures more or less to make something that attempts to be like the, let's call it the Siemens NX tech thingy. But I'll probably speed it up from here onwards. That way, again, just focus purely on making this design. I won't explain much, but please feel free to stop as we go. But essentially, it's employing all of the commands that we've used before. Here, probably for the MIT, we're going to use the wrap that we just learned by making the kind of the code. Meanwhile, with all of this, we're also going to use the swept for the hand. Well, why not? Let's get started. Let's do it. Okay, this is as much as I'll do of the boat. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.